Technology that is built for your every sense. Acer Pure from Acer.
Hunger strike in Ladakh, but it all came to a head-on as far as clashes and violence that were reported when these protests turned deadly. Some unruly elements resorted to stone pelting and arson. Some even clashed with the police, and the police in turn fired tear gas shells and resorted to bait and charge to control the crowd. Amid the clash, the protesting youth set fire to the BJP office in Leh and reportedly torched a CRPF vehicle outside the party office. Now, the government has responded to the violence that transpired in Ladakh and has now squarely blamed Sonam Wangchuk for instigating violence. The government claims that certain politically motivated individuals were unhappy with the progress made in talks with Ladakh's representatives, and they have constantly been trying to sabotage the dialogue process. Further, the government has accused Wangchuk of misleading the people via provocative statements, which include mentions of Arab Spring-like protests and the references made to the recently held protest in Nepal, which is the Gen Z protest. Now, the government believes that the violent mob was incited by Sonam Wangchuk, who they claim broke his fast and left for his village without any attempts to control the situation. As of now, according to updates, 40 people who have been arrested and more arrests are expected as far as the CCTV footage and videos that are being analyzed and scanned to track and arrest those who led the protest. Action against the instigators is being taken as well. Now, Ladakh violent protest fallout that has now come across as a sensational claim that has been made by the BJP against the Congress. BJP has now posted another video of the Congress Neta, where the BJP alleges that the Congress Neta was the one who was leading the protest, saying that they were working together. When we speak of the Congress and the activist Sonam Wangchuk, who were backed by foreign agencies, and saying the BJP now claims that this was a bid to engineer unrest for political gains, calling it as Rahul Gandhi's sinister plan, and the Congress's plan must be exposed. Let's get in a word from Sahil Sohail, who's connected with us. Remember, Times Now is the only channel there reporting live from the ground in the epicenter of the violence that was 24 hours ago reported in Ladakh. Sahil, we are looking at the political angle as well, because there is an obvious blame game that has been taking place. The Ladakh violence, according to the BJP, bears an unmistakable imprint of the Congress. This is a big allegation being leveled.
And yes, of course, the Congress party leaders in Ladakh, basically in Leh, had issued a statement, in fact, addressed a press conference a day before the violence, in fact, threatening to ghairav the BJP headquarters. And before that, we had also seen some of the Congress leaders participating in the hunger strike and Padyatra initiated by Sonam Wangchuk from Ladakh to New Delhi. So Congress has been basically a silent supporter of Sonam Wangchuk, but he downplays Congress party in Leh. But we are picking up from the sources now that since BJP has claimed that in fact the pictures and videos have came out wherein Congress party councillors and Congress party former legislators were seen, this is all now part of in fact investigation, and particularly the Congress councillor from Upper Leh has gone underground. We tried to track him. We visited his house, but the gate was locked, and his family members are saying that it was not right time to speak. Police sources saying that he has completely gone underground. Police team had visited his residence late last evening.
Sonam Wangchuk, because he did make an appeal to the youth there to actually not indulge in violence, but according to the BJP, he's left the area where these clashes were reported. So where is Sonam Wangchuk currently?
Well, he is said to be in his native village, which is quite some distance from, in fact, Leh city center. And yesterday, after this violence, he came out with a statement from the hunger strike location, in condemning the violence, saying that this was not his style of, in fact, demanding the solutions from the central government. And then he had boarded a ambulance. Initially, it was thought that he had gone to a hospital, but now it has came that he went to his native village where he is currently. So there is basically a multiple in fact angles of the investigation. Sonam Wangchuk, as Ministry of Home Affairs, has very clearly said that he is the main instigator.
Yes.
I spoke to police officials, back top officials in Ladakh, and they made it very clear that the instigators, the conspirators, and those who are leading the protest and those who were participating in the protest all will have to face the law.
And it's multiple arrests that have taken place, more arrests that are also expected to happen as the investigation progresses. But this is a big allegation that has now been leveled by the BJP, calling it as a sinister collaboration. A video that has now been shared of Deldon Namgyal, who is said to be a former Congress MLA, from Nobra, elected in 2014. Now, this is the video, the veracity that has not been authenticated by Times Now, but it has been posted by the BJP, saying that he was the one who was aggressively leading the protests in Ladakh. And the BJP now alleges that it is clear that Sonam Wangchuk and the Congress, propped up by foreign agencies in this sensitive border region, are now attempting to engineer unrest for narrow political gains, and Rahul Gandhi's sinister plan must be exposed. That is one of the allegations that is now being leveled on part of the BJP. Now let's in the meantime break another angle there, because according to sources what we are learning, that CBI has now initiated an inquiry in the alleged FCRA violation by Sonam Wangchuk's NGO, which is the Himalayan Institute of Advanced Learning. The Federal Probe Agency has not filed an FIR but has only initiated an inquiry. Now in August, Ladakh administration had cancelled the land allotment of this said institute. While cancelling, Ladakh administration had claimed that land was not used for the purpose for which it was allotted and no lease agreement has been executed. Now this development that is now coming at a time which we are learning through sources that the CBI would now be probing the said FCRA violation by activist Sonam Wangchuk's team. And let's get in a word from Bhavtosh now. Bhavtosh, what has now been said as far as this NGO in particular is concerned? Was land actually allotted to the NGO? What are the said irregularities that have been notified on part of the CBI, which has initiated an inquiry?
Well, it was in 2018 that the land was allotted by the Ladakh administration, and then in August this year, the land was in fact, the agreement was in fact revoked on the grounds that that no university ever came up, and more importantly that the land agreement with HIL was itself flawed. Now, the reason why the CBI has initiated an inquiry, it's a preliminary inquiry, it is not an FIR, is primarily because of the tripartite agreement that was signed between HIL and three institutes. One was a UN, second one was with a Swiss institute, and the third one was with an Italian institute. Now, Sonam Wangchuk has always claimed that there was no financial dealing with all these three institutes, and there was only a transfer of education. Now, he has said that once this agreement was signed, they also exported education, and this was in within the FCRA, and there was no actually a financial any kind of financial transaction that ever happened, but there are allegations that FCRA violation has happened, and to probe this, CBI teams are actually at HIL even as we speak, and that could in fact lead to another round of political controversy. But CBI has said that they are still investigating this case under the preliminary inquiry, and it could be possible that if they do find a violation of FCRA, they can go ahead and file a case under FCRA violation, since MHA only mandates CBI to probe these cases.
All right. As far as the central agency is concerned, what is being said that there has been an inquiry that has been going on for some time, but there has been no FIR that has been registered in this case yet. Thank you very much, Bhavtosh, for that update. But when we speak of the government, because the government has come out squarely to point fingers at Sonam Wangchuk, saying that this was a deliberate instigation of violence, and it was incited by Sonam Wangchuk's remarks that he broke his fast and left for his village amid violence without trying to control it. Now, Ladakh's simmering demand for statehood spiraled into violence on Wednesday, where there were several pictures that came in and the charges that have now been leveled. Let's put them up one by one. Now, what does the government say? They say that certain politically motivated individuals were unhappy with the progress that is being made in Ladakh, which was turned into a union territory, saying that they have been trying to sabotage the dialogue process, and it was Sonam Wangchuk who was actually misleading the people via provocation. Provocative mentions that have been made, like of the Arab Spring style protests. There has been also provocation made to the references made to the recent Gen Z protests that happened in Nepal, and it is clear according to the government that the mob was incited by Sonam Wangchuk himself, and he left without making any efforts to control the situation. However, he did end his hunger strike, but however did make an appeal to the youth especially to not indulge in violence. Meanwhile, the BJP, which has released footage of the violence to claim that there was another Congress hand that could be behind yesterday's violence. They now say that there was a Congress councillor for Upper Leh Ward, Stanzin Chepang, who was the man who was instigating the violence. The BJP alleges that the same man can be seen instigating the youth for violent acts during the protest, and along with Stanzin, the BJP has accused another Congress councillor, which is Manala Norbu, for making statements about gherawing the BJP office. Remember, the BJP office was gutted during yesterday's protest. Now, the BJP claims that incidentally, just a day later, the BJP office was set ablaze, and not just that, a CRPF vehicle too was gutted.
आप देख सकते हैं कांग्रेस के काउंसलर स्टानजिंग सेपांग, ये है कांग्रेस के काउंसलर स्टानजिंग सेपांग, ये अपर लेह वार्ड से काउंसलर हैं, ये मेन इंस्टिगेटर हैं और अपने कार्यकर्ताओं के साथ ये किस प्रकार इंस्टिगेट कर रहे हैं, इसके कई फोटो सामने आए हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी का जो षड्यंत्र है, किस प्रकार से भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशा अल्लाह, यही कांग्रेस पार्टी का मुख्य लाइन है।
So as far as when it comes to the allegation that has been leveled on a Congress councillor by the BJP, Times Now had a word with the same leader in question, who has not really denied those allegations but also said that he was not present at the location where the clashes broke out.
तो अमित मालविया है बीजेपी के, उन्होंने ट्वीट किया है तो उन्होंने आपकी पिक्चर लगाई है, वो कह रहे हैं वायलेंस में आप शामिल थे।
मैं उन पे डिफेमेशन का सूट लगाने वाला हूँ,
मगर पिक्चर में तो आप दिख रहे हैं उसमें।
नहीं है मेरा, आप इसी दिन का सीसीटीवी कहीं पे भी देख लीजिए, मेरे पास खुद एलिबाई भी है, मेरे पास सीसीटीवी फुटेज है, उसी टाइम पे मैं कहीं और मौजूद हूँ।
Now, as far as this said councillor is concerned, there is a breaking update that is now coming in, because we just saw how the BJP is blaming the Congress councillor for Ladakh violence. According to latest details that we are learning through police sources, is that Stanzing Sepag, who is the Congress councillor for Upper Leh Ward, has gone underground. However, a manhunt is underway to arrest him. Sahil is getting us this information for us. So Sahil, we were getting the details exactly when it comes to the whereabouts of this Congress councillor, because we heard in that phono that he spoke to Times Now, denying the allegations of him even being present in the spot when the clashes broke out yesterday.
Yes, of course, this councillor is claiming that he was not present, and he has in fact threatened to file a defamation suit against BJP leader Amit Palvia. But here on ground is that police officials we spoke to say that he is completely underground. He was not available at his residence late last evening. Today morning as well, police teams had gone, but he was not present. We also tried, in fact, to go inside the residence of this particular Congress councillor, but the gate was locked, and in fact his family members said that it was not right time to speak. So this is the situation, and if Congress councillor is clean, he was not present at the time of violence. He was present at some other location. He should have basically released that evidence in his defense, or he should have spoke to media as well. But we spoke to police officials who are deployed in the nearby area. They think that they are keeping a track on his activities and in fact trying to locate him, but he's not at home. home. He has completely gone underground. Police is looking for him because it's now a matter of, in fact, investigation, because police has registered FIR. So far, more than 48 people have been arrested, and top police officials in Ladakh have told us that they will be not sparing the...
There have been people who have been injured, but as far as the investigation is concerned, Sahil getting us that information that nearly over 40 people that have been arrested, more arrests that are likely. But according to the BJP, the Congress councillor is the main instigator, and numerous photos have surfaced of him and his workers instigating violence, especially marching towards the BJP office with a weapon in his hand. However, the councillor himself has denied those allegations. Thank you very much, Sahil, for getting us that exclusive update from Ground Zero. Let's move on now.